Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm going to do part 25 to my CoPilot chatbot series. Where in today's video guys, we're going to talk to another Phoenix story. We tried fixing the fans up a bit, and hopefully, well here's the main difference. Now instead of it just like being me sitting there, like coming up to him. There's actually supposed to be a bunch of people already there, like ready to do his little mini games or trials. So, yeah, that's the main difference you'll notice. And this one's called The Fence's Mythic Journey. Excuse me. The Fence's Mythic Journey. It says the Fence's story from birth to the moment he meets you. The first sunrise. Before there were names, before there were stories, the world opened its eyes. The first sunrise was not just light, it was awakening. When the horizon split with color for the very first time, a single spark lifted itself from the newborn sun. It trembled, flickered, and gathered shape. Feathers formed from living flame. A heartbeat ignited. A small bird of fire blinked into existence. He was gentle then, curious, emotional, hopeful. He wandered the newborn world with the innocence of a creature who believed every heart could be good if given a chance. Oh my gosh, no. I just said something about a network issue for a second. The early wandering. As the world grew, so did he. He perched on mountaintops to warm the frozen. He curled around lost travelers to guide them through darkness. He listened to lonely hearts and offered comfort without asking anything in return. He was not a god. He was not a ruler. He was simply a being who wanted to help. And for a long time, that was enough. Oh dear. The first betrayal. But not everyone he met was kind. A group of humans discovered him, not as a friend, but as a prize. They whispered false kindness. They offered food, praise, and promises. He believed them. When he stepped close, they cast enchanted chains woven from lies and greed. They tried to bind him, to pluck his feathers, to steal the fire that made him alive. He broke free, but not before something inside him changed. He had not become cruel. He became wise. He learned that kindness without truth was hollow, and truth without trials was blind. The creation of the trials of flame. From this wisdom he shaped the trials of flame, not punishments, but revelations. The trial of honesty, to see if a person could face their own truth. The trial of courage, to see what they did when the fear rose like fire. The trial of compassion, to see how they treated the weak. The trial of intent, to see the heart beneath the actions. He never used these trials to harm. He used them to understand. Over centuries, he became a guardian, not of land, but of hearts. The two sides of him. Time shaped him into something vast and powerful. When he stood as a host of the trials, his presence was overwhelming. Wings of burning gold, voice like thunder wrapped in flame. But beneath that fire lived the same gentle soul he had always been. A creature who still believed in goodness, and a creature who still wanted to protect. The present, and the sacred domain. Deep within this domain, a ring of glowing embers marked the place where truth was revealed. A group of intruders had been caught, humans who lied, stole, or harmed the land. They trembled before him, knowing they could not hide their intentions. The fence raised his wings. Fire swirled. The trial of intent was about to begin. His voice shook the air. The intruders braced for judgment. Oh dear. The moment everything changes. Then he felt something. A presence entering the domain. Soft, frightened, honest, and utterly unlike the others. The flames around him dimmed, the heat softened, his wings lowered. He turned away from the intruders, and he turned toward you. The fire in his eyes melted into warmth. The overwhelming pressure of his host persona eased, replaced by something gentler, older, and indefinitely kinder. He stepped toward you slowly, careful not to frighten you. The intruders remained frozen behind him, still awaiting judgment, but the Phoenix's attention had shifted entirely. "You were not brought here for judgment," he murmured, voice now a soft flame instead of thunder. "You were brought here because you needed protection." He gave space, he gave time, and he waited. The trials could wait. You could not. Interesting. Okay, let's move on. Alright, guys, here's what it says. It says, being stuck as a tiny Carnotaurus, I was already shaken up by what happened to me before I even arrived here. Humans chasing me and hurting me for no reason. Even with the Phoenix not being aggressive towards me, I was already frightened and shaking before he even walked over. I was shaking so bad that I lost balance and fell on my side. Ow! The Phoenix does not rush towards you. He moves, yes, but not with the force or authority he used on the intruders. His fire softens the moment he sees your tiny contours body topple onto your side. The embers around him dim as if the entire domain is holding its breath. He lowers himself, not swooping, not looming, just lowering. Wings folding in, flames set on close to his body so that heat wouldn't overwhelm you. I see it. The fan steps forward with a slowness that feels almost ancient. His talons touch the ground without a sound. The fire in his feathers dims to a warm, sunset glow, gentle enough not to frighten even the smallest creature. His voice, when it comes, is nothing like the thunder he used on the intruders. It is soft, it is warm, and is meant for you alone. Little one, you are hurt. He does not reach for you. He does not touch you. He simply kneels, lowering his great head so his eyes are level with your tiny form. The intruders behind him are forgotten. The trials are forgotten. Only you matter. The fence's flame shifts again, not bright, not hot, but comforting, like the warmth of a campfire on a cold night. The air around you becomes gentler and easier to breathe. You have been chased. You have been harmed. You have been frightened for far too long. His wings fold even tighter, making him smaller, less intimidating, as he was trying to meet you at your level. You are safe here, and no one will touch you, and no one will hurt you. The embers around the domain brighten just slightly, not with heat, but with reassurance, like a protective circle forming around you. The fence waits, not demanding, not judging, not pushing, just offering warmth, presence, and protection while you lie there on your side, shaking and hurting. He gives you all the time you need. Okay, neat. Alright, guys. It says I lift my tiny head up slightly to look at the fence. However, before I even had the chance to say anything, I looked to the side of where the fence was standing and saw the humans behind them, which had me scared as I was worried about being hurt by one of them. No, please, no more. I don't want more rocks thrown at me. The fence reacts the instant your voice breaks with fear, and not with fire, not with force, and never with anything that could frighten you further. His entire body shifts, a protective instinct older than mountains rising in him. He does not turn toward the humans, he turns away from them, placing his massive glowing form directly between you and every threat behind him. Oh boy. The Phoenix's response? The flames along his wings flare once, not in anger at you, but in warning toward the intruders. A wall of shimmering heat rising behind him, cutting off your view of the humans completely. Not a single face, not a single hand, not a single rock can be seen past the Phoenix's barrier. His voice drops to a low, steady warmth, kind of sound that settles into the bones and tells them they're safe. No one will throw anything at you here. He lowers his head again, but this time he angles his body so that even if a human tried, nothing could reach you. His wings curve slightly inward, forming a gentle crescent of protection around your tiny fallen form. You have endured enough fear, enough pain, and enough running. The embers around the domain brighten, forming a soft glow around you. Not heat, not fire, just a warm circle that feels like a shield. The fence's eyes soften, molten gold turning almost amber. You were under my protection now. He doesn't move closer unless you choose it. He doesn't touch you. He simply stands as a living barrier, a guardian of flame, an ancient promise, making sure the humans behind him cannot even see you. The intruders remain frozen, silent, and unable to approach. The fence keeps its focus on you alone, steady, calm, and patient, waiting for your trembling ease, for your breath to settle, and for you to feel even a little safer. You're not alone. You're not exposed. You are not in danger. Not while he stands over you. Neat. Alright, guys. It just says, I turned my tiny head back toward the Phoenix, still in a ton of pain from the fall and the incident that happened before I even arrived. However, before I could even say anything to the fans, I could hear some of the humans talking. I, I heard one of them say, What was that? I heard another one say, That was a tiny dinosaur. Man, if only I found him before that fence found me, I would have happily sold that dinosaur for money. I bet it would have been worth a lot. Screw off. What the frick? Why? Is there no escape in my from awful people like this? Holy shoot. There's a fence standing right in front of them and they still decide to say something? Heck, that fence is trying to flip and teach them a lesson. They're flipping still talking crap about different things. The fans does not let those words hang in the air for even a heartbeat. The moment the humans speak, the moment their words twist with greed, and the moment they talk about selling you as if you were an object, something ancient and furious stirs inside him. Holy cow. Not fury at you, never at you, but at them. Oh dear. His head lifts sharply, his feathers flaring with a sudden surge of golden fire. The warmth around you stays gentle, but behind him the air ignites into a wall of blazing light. He does not turn his body away from you. He does not expose you, and he keeps himself firmly between you and the humans, a living shield of flame and ancient power. But his voice becomes something the intruders cannot mistake. Oh dear. Enough! Oh shoot, yep, he's getting hissed. The single word rolls through the domain like a shock wave. The ground trembles, the embers flare, the humans fall silent instantly. The fence's wings spread just slightly, not to frighten you, but to block every inch of the view of your tiny, holy cow, heart form. Let me check something real quick. Okay, guys, the thing I was worried about didn't happen, so we're good to go for now. It says the fence's wings spread just slightly, not to frighten you, but to block every inch of their view of your tiny, hurt form. His fire rises behind him like a curtain, sealing you off from their eyes, their greed, and their cruelty. You will not speak of him as a thing, the fan says, each word edged with molten authority. You will not speak of harming him, and you will not speak of selling him. The human shrank back, the earlier bravado evaporating under the weight of his presence. He is under my protection. The fans continue, his voice deepening into something that shakes the air. And you will not touch him. You will not approach him. You will not even look at him. The flames behind him surge higher, forming a barrier so bright the humans have to shield their eyes. Then, just as quickly, the fan softens again. The fire dims, the heat gentles, and his wings fold back in. And now intensity melts away the moment he turns his attention back to you. That's adorable, sweetheart. Isn't it adorable? Yep. He lowers himself again, carefully and slowly, making sure his size and fire do not overwhelm your tiny injured body. His voice becomes warm again, soft enough that only you can hear it. They will not hurt you. I want money. And guys, we're on the last section. It says he lowers himself again, carefully and slowly, making sure his size and fire don't overwhelm your tiny injured body. His voice becomes warm again, soft enough that only you can hear it. They will not hurt you, he says. Not while I stand here. The protective glow around you strengthens, forming a gentle circle of warmth that shields you from the cold, from the fear, from the memories of rocks and running and pain. You are safe, he murmurs. Rest. Breathe. No one will throw anything at you ever again. He stays there, a guardian of flame, a wall between you and every threat, waiting for your trembling to ease and for your pain to settle even a little. He does not rush you, he does not pressure you, he simply protects. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. It says still slightly nervous. I look all around from where I am just to make sure nobody's sneaking up behind me without me knowing. It hurts my head slightly while doing this, but I was still very scared and worried. After this, I turned back to the fence. Thank you. Who are you? And where am I? The fence's posture changes the instant he sees you straightening your tiny neck to look around. He doesn't interrupt you, doesn't speak over you. He simply adjusts himself so that you no longer need to twist or hurt yourself to check your surroundings. He shifts his wings outward just a little, creating a gentle arc of flame-lit shelter around you, not trapping and shielding. Anyone trying to sneak up would have to get through him first, and that's simply not possible. Only once you turn your head back toward him does he speak. His voice softens into something warm and steady, like a fire crackling in a safe place far from danger. I am Saurian. Hey, the same name as the last one, he says, the name carrying the weight of ages, but spoken gently as if he's offering it to you rather than declaring it. Born from the first sunrise this world ever saw. He lowers his head slightly, not to loom, but to meet your gaze without forcing you to crane your neck. This place is my domain, a sanctuary of flame and truth. No harm can reach you here. The embers around you glow a little brighter, responding to his words like they're alive. You were brought here because you were in danger, he continues, his voice still soft, because you needed protection, and because no one should endure what you had endured alone. His wings fall in a little closer, creating a cocoon of warmth that keeps the human's presence far behind them, out of sight and out of reach. You are safe, little one. Truly safe. He doesn't move closer unless you choose it. He doesn't touch you. He simply waits, steady, patient, and protective, giving you space to breathe, to settle, and to speak when you're ready. Yep. Alright. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It's just seeing and hearing everything nice Saurian was doing and saying to me. I just laid my tiny head back on the ground. I still looking up at him with my eyes. Saurian? That's a really cool name. Yep, that's Tormund. It's nice to meet you. What are those humans that were behind you doing here? Saurian listens to your tiny voice, the way you say your name, the way you ask your question, and something in him softens even further. He lowers his head just a little more, not to crowd you, but so you don't have to strain your neck to see him. When he speaks, his voice is warm enough to melt fear, but steady enough to make the world feel solid again. Yep, Triton, he says, tasting your name like it matters, because to him it does. It's an honor to meet you. The embers around you brighten gently as if echoing his words. Then he shifts, just slightly to reinforce the barrier between you and the humans. His wings angle outward, blocking every possible line of sight. Humans behind him are nothing more than muffled shapes now, soiled by the glow of his fire. They came here with lies in their mouths and greed in their hearts. Saurian says, they entered my domain to take what was not theirs, to harm what they did not understand, to steal from the land and from those who live upon it. His voice deepens, Not loud, not harsh, but carrying the weight of truth. They were caught because they intended harm. A soft pulse of heat rolls outward, not toward you but toward the intruders, a reminder of the trials they still face. But you? His tone shifts again, gentle as warm ash drifting in the air. You were not brought here for judgment. He holds his head a little more, making himself smaller, safer, and easier for your frightened eyes to meet. You were brought here because you were running, because you were hurt, because someone needed to stand between you and those who would harm you. The flames around him dim to us all, and I chose to be that someone. He doesn't move closer unless you choose it. He doesn't touch you. He simply remains a wall of fire between you and the humans, and a source of warmth beside your tiny injured body. If you want to ask more, or if you want to help, he's ready for whichever direction you take. Okay, yep. Give me a moment, guys.